All right. Well, hello, and welcome everyone to our BG5 Live. Great to have you all here. Today is April 6th, 2021. This is episode number 99. We were just talking about this before we got started. We started this 2 years ago, and we started on Ra's birthday, which is on April 9th, in Trait 51. So we started on Trait 51, and we're now at episode 99. As we enter into Trait 51 as well. So I thought that was really brilliant. And then next week we have episode 100. Can you believe it? Amazing. So again, welcome. Today we're going to be taking a look at Trait 51. We're going to take a look at Trait 51 in Quality 3. And what we're going to be taking a look at today is adapting to shock by thinking on your feet. So that's what we're going to be taking a look at today. So before we jump in and get started, let's say hello to our panel. So let's start with Anna. Hey, Anna, welcome. Great to have you here.
Hello. Hello, everyone. Glad to be here.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. And let's go to Natalie. Hey, Natalie, welcome.
Yay. Happy to be here. 2 years. Wow.
I know. Can you believe it?
No!
Amazing.
Yes, amazing.
Beautiful. And Linda, welcome.
Thank you so much. Happy to be here and ready to be shocked. Yes.
I love it. Love it. And my name is Karen Sherwood. And again, welcome to BG5 Live. So again, what we're going to be taking a look at today is adapting to shock by thinking on your feet. And we've moved into a new month as well. We're now in April. So let's take a look at what April has in store for us. If we take a look at April, April is about awakening the life force energy to know in April. So we're still in purpose fulfilled through mind. Next month, as we move into May, we'll start moving into purpose fulfilled through form, but we're still in purpose fulfilled through the mind throughout the month of April. And how appropriate is it, right? Awakening the life force energy to know. So we're in spring and we're awakening the life force energy. It's been the last few weeks. We've had snow here in Colorado. It finally has cleared up. We're finally getting warm weather and we're finally seeing buds on the trees. So that life force energy is beginning to awaken. So let's see what we have in store for ourselves in April. So we're starting off with initiative in Trait 51. This is the ability to respond to shock through adaptation. That's what we're going to be taking a look at today. Next week, we're going to take a look at growth. So this is one of the format channels, which is completing a cycle. And completing the cycle is at the heart of growth. So beginnings, middles, ends, beginnings, middles, ends. So growth brings forth an end to start a new beginning. And then we have ordering with the 3. This is to transcend confusion and establish order. This is one of the strengths of mutation. This is also a format strength. And so part of a format strength. So again, establishing what is new. Again, taking a look at the energy resource, we also have the 27 of nourishment, the compassion and energy to care for others. And we will wrap up the month with rationalization in the 24. There is no proof or experience, only knowing. So individual pressure of knowing. So we also have a lot of individual pressure of knowing this month as well with the 3 in ordering and the pressure there and the pressure in the 24 as well as part of that strength. So, and growth, right? And growth also is a pressure as well. So there's a lot of, or it's not a pressure, but it's part of a strength that leads to pressure as well. So if we take a look at today, we can see that we have the 51, both in the core essence as well as in our values as well. We still have the 1949 defined, right? This is really addressing social needs. And so that's one of the things that's coming to the forefront. We also have in our past and future direction, this waiting, and wanting progress. So wanting this progress, but yet there's this waiting and following patterns and rhythms as well. All right, so that's where we are currently. I'd love to see if there's anything from our panel that you would like to add as we move into April. Take a look at April, but also starting to look at what we're going to be taking a look at and covering today in the 51. No? All right, let's just jump in. Jump in to the 51. The 51 is about initiative. So this is the ability to respond to disorder and shock through recognition and adaptation. This is also the competitive power to drive to leap into the void first. That's where I got the inspiration for this particular image. It really is about being first. It's about leaping into the void, and it's that competitive power and drive to leap into the void first. It takes a lot of gall. It takes a lot of daring to jump first. It's also arousing. It's shock. And arousing empowers the direction of love. We talked about the 25 a couple weeks ago. Remember, this is universal love. So notice that the 51 points directly at the 25. So it is an awakening to universal love. 51 is also the warrior as well. When connected to the 25, it's the spiritual warrior fighting for a reason, fighting for what you believe. It's willpower and courage in mastering the material world. And if you have the 51, you are designed to withstand shock as well as to shock others by moving them out of complacency of their safe cocoon as you direct them towards change. So this is what the 51 is all about. And I know myself, I actually have the 51 in quality 3. Natalie, you also have it as well. I have it in my unconscious core essence. Natalie also has it as part of your life work as well. And then Linda, you have the 25 on the other side. And Anna, do you have the 25 also? Yeah, and you also have the 25 on the other side as well, right? So we have all of those combinations. So I would love to hear from our panel. What are some things, or what do you see immediately about this trait of 51 and this initiative, this leaping into the void first, this ability to withstand shock and move forward?
I'll start initiating.
Exactly.
As an innovator, that's what we do. I wanted to back up just for a minute and talk about mind, because mind isn't mental, and lots of people associate mind with mental, but the real function of mind is really about intelligence and consciousness and awareness. So from that perspective, initiative, all this Aries springtime energy is all about breaking through, beginning something, moving something, and everything gets disrupted when you move something. Like, just if you think about moving a chair in your living room, a lot of times you have to move something else to put the chair in a different place. So there's all this slight disruption, or maybe a lot of disruption, when something gets initiated. And it changes the direction of your sight, of your senses, of your place, your stance in the world. So being initiated or initiating is disruptive by nature. It's not necessarily bad at all, but it just is that way. So when we put willpower in there, that's the function is willpower, ego strength, it can be egotistical, or it can be just a well-endowed sense of courage. Hopefully, with the function of willpower, there needs to be a balance between work and rest, action and non-action. But this is a time of action. This season is a time of action, and sometimes you're just compelled to leap forward. You're not really thinking it. It's the mind's intelligence, the greater intelligence of things. And sometimes you make a mistake, and sometimes it moves forward. I always think about, I'm a basketball fan, so I always think about like the last 3 minutes of the playoff game. You know, there's always that person that will just move into position, knows the floor, sends the ball over for the person that's gonna, you know, make the shot. That's initiative right there.
Yeah. Yeah, and there's a courage and a daring and a movement and a power within that as well. Yeah, beautifully shared, Anna. Thank you so very much. How about for you, Linda?
Well, because I have the 25, what I've noticed throughout my life is that I always thought that I wasn't courageous enough, and that I really would like to master the material world. So, and you mentioned before about the goal, having goal as well, and my gallbladder has been removed because I was trying so hard to be courageous, to master the material world, to be ambitious, to take initiative. But that's not up to me. And that's really what I feel like this trait, and not having it, but the desire to have it, has bugged me throughout my life until I got aware. But now I also have a deeper understanding of how it works, because Natalie, she has the 51 and we work together. So it's a beautiful combination, me having the 25 and she the 51. And what she really does to me is that she really teases me, shocks me out of my safe cocoon. Yeah, in a positive way. Yeah, you can laugh, but I really, it's so powerful, because she is so sincere and so courageous herself in being honest, and also seeing what I need. And she teases the spirit out of me. And then she says, well, why don't you go do that? I said, do you think I can do that? Yes, of course. And then she really, she does something to me. And I really feel that she moves me toward change and to a positive transformation. So yeah, for me, it's a wonderful trait. I now know that it's not me, and I have 25, but it's wonderful to have the working relationship and also the friendship with Natalie, and to see it how it works together.
Really beautiful. Yeah, thank you so much, Linda. And Natalie, having the 51 on the other side and working with Linda, how is that?
I don't do anything, right? It's just, no, exactly. Yeah. So when you read it, you think, oh, these are really bold people. These are really, they're out to do that, right? You kind of like as if it is something that we consciously practice or something. And I feel the opposite of being, yeah, I do feel courageous, but wanting to be the first and I'm not, ambitious of my, of myself. But yes, I do. And with my provoking, right? So it's all working together in my life work. But I do, and you saw it. Everybody, go back to last week, to BG5 last week, and Linda beautifully laid out when I shocked again. So I don't even notice it. But I do. And Linda is a good example. For instance, trying something new, doing videos on for her personal website or whatever, and then she goes, "Yeah, but I don't know, la 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 la, whatever." I'm like, duh, you have so much to give, and not just that, but in different things. And if you please can go back to the slide, because it is, again, like with provoking, it is for and the word that touched me as well in what Linda shared is it's honest. It's honest, empowering, encouraging, giving somebody just a little push that they need, right? To take the step, to leap into the void for the first time they do something new. And myself in my life, I, of course, you think about, should I or shouldn't I, but I'm not, quote unquote, afraid to do something new. If I feel it's I resonate with it and I got my gut response, then I just go. And even against the most overwhelming odds, somewhere it's over there as well. If I feel it's good or true to me, then I stand for it. Then and I speak my mind. So and I'm also a 5-1 public role. So in being kind of this general type person in going there and withstand the shock and yeah, but it's truly when it's true for me, right? Then I can do whatever. But if I wouldn't follow others in anything in that sense, right? Then I probably will have a real shock and just go flat out.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. It's courage in mastering the material world. This doesn't ring a bell. It's more like maybe in being able to do what you love, like that's, the builder should do what they love with the gut response in my case. And then being able to do what I love in the material world, but yeah, I don't know. How do you feel about this courage in mastering the material world? It feels kind of foreign to me, but I've always had a yicky thing with materialism.
And for you it's unconscious. For me it's unconscious as well. But of course I have the 54. So so ambition in the material world is my life work theme. So I identify it with it very very profoundly. This is, and we're going to take a look at this when we take a look at the celebrity as well, but this is the life work theme of penetration, of going deep. It's of, I see the 51 also in awakening, right? That initiative to awaken others. And I feel this is part of my life work, is also awakening others to the beauty and the magic of who they are. And sometimes people are asleep and you need to initiate them. You need to wake them up. You need to allow them to see the magic of what their life is all about and who they are, because oftentimes it's really easy to lose sight of that. That's part of, I think, part of how I use the 51. It's also what we're going to be taking a look at here. I do have it in quality 3, which is also thinking on your feet. And this ability to adapt and move and, oh, well, there's a roadblock. How can I get around it? Oh, that didn't, there's that trial and error piece to it where I don't get hung up on what the obstacle is, or where I got stopped, or where I made a mistake. It's like, okay, that didn't work. What is a way that we can make it work? In building websites and doing things like that, I can see things. I can sort of think outside of the box and think on my feet of, okay, well, if it's not going to work that way, how can we work with it another way? So it really is this ability, to initiate by thinking on my feet and being able to move very quickly in that way. And as Natalie was saying, this piece about the willpower and courage to master the material world, again, it is part of this life work theme of penetration as well, in really tapping into that ambition of the material world as well. So I do quite relate to it. And it's like the material world. On the other side, we have the 25, which is the spirit. So it's the material world really connecting to this universal love and to the spirit, and the magic that's possible with that connection of, in a sense, bringing spirit to this material plane versus it being someplace out there, to be able to really embody it and live it as well.
Yeah, so I do resonate with especially the first part of what you were sharing, that you shock others and want them to see the beauty of themselves. I mean, that's what we do here. That's what I love about this job. That is what I love about instructing about BG5, right? To give others a way to see and to shock them into it. Yeah, sure.
and how do they operate in the material world?
Yeah,
right? Following your decision-making strategy. So it's the courage and the willpower and courage in mastering the material world. That's what we are doing in following our decision-making strategy. That's how you become a master of the material world, is by trusting the materialness, I guess, of your body. Your body knows before your mind does. Right. And if you really are in tune with what your decision-making strategy is, your body will take you exactly where you need to go. And you can trust that, and you can rely on that. And sometimes it takes courage, because the mind is saying, oh no, that's a terrible decision. Whereas your body's like, I don't know why, but I'm saying yes. Or just the opposite, right? You're like, oh no way, and your body's like, and then your mind says, oh, well, it's going to be okay. And you do it anyway, and it's a disaster. So either way, right? The courage of the willpower and courage of mastering the material world is trusting your body intelligence, because it knows before you do. Right. That's part of the, I suppose, the initiation too, is this awakening to understanding that your body knows before you do, and trusting that.
And I wanted to mention that this thing, arousing shock, arousing empowers the direction of love, because that's what the three of you have just mentioned, that this is, when the world works, you feel loved, you offer love. When you don't make the right decision, or you're experimenting with your decision making, it's easy to get on your case. You don't have that sense of mastering the physical world, but the direction of love is that bigger sense of direction, your place in the world's right, things are good for you, your interactions with people. So I love this part about empowering the direction of love, the environment of love, internally and externally.
Yeah, exactly. And when we're talking about shock, I mean, shock can be a good thing. Shock can be a bad thing, right? Sometimes things are shocking and they wake you up, and it's very disturbing, and it's not something that's very pleasant. Other times you awaken, or the shock of, again, ultimately what it's leading towards is this beauty and this universal love. So again, there's always two sides to the coin. So there's, again, the good side of shock. There's also the negative side of shock as well. And when we take a look at quality 3, quality 3 is the pioneer. So it is learning through trial and error. And it's about adaptation. It's about adapting to whatever situation you have. So the elevation is the power of spontaneity in times of challenge. It's the life-sustaining awareness that thinks on its feet, thus creating opportunities. I find this is really present for me, especially as it is my grounding. When I can really think on my feet, it becomes really fun to just kind of like, oh, okay, that didn't work. Let's try this. Let's try this. And that then creates opportunities that wouldn't have been there had I been stopped by the shock. Now, there are times as well, because there is the other side of the challenge, where the ego that may be destabilized in times of challenge, the destabilization that occurs when one's field of normal activity is radically or unpredictably disturbed, where the tendency is to withdraw rather than adapt. And I found myself, doing that at times as well, where it's much easier to withdraw and step away rather than adapt to the situation. So again, both sides of that. Anything, Linda or Natalie, that you would like to add there?
Lynn? No?
Yeah. I just see Karen.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful to see thinking on your feet. And then sometimes I want the system already in place, or I want to see the end result. And you can just be in the process and well, okay, let's go here. And, it's so fun.
Yeah. And then 2 days later, things have totally changed. You think, how did she do that? Yeah. But it's not a big deal. I just did that. And I was just thinking about, and then I just created this. Okay. I said, well, that's rather really genius, but I cannot wrap my hand around it, but it looks great. Yeah, it's wonderful. And you really create opportunities.
Yeah.
You get more out of it, out of things. And even more than some experts think they can get out of it.
Okay, are you talking from experience right now? Yeah. No, yeah, Linda is working together with Karen on something new. So
so it's amazing to watch the adaptation take place. Yes, and also when the experts says it's not possible, then you see, but I'm going to get my way around it. And then the next day, she says, I figured it out. And then you have created something, a new way. Oh, we can do it this and this. And then you learn other people how it works. So it's wonderful.
Yeah, I love this trait. I just love this. This is one of my favorite traits, is the 51. I love this. Well, thank you very much. And like I said, it's something that, in my design, it is part of my unconscious grounding. And like I said, it's one of my absolute favorite traits. It's also one of my profit potentials as well. So one of the things that you'll probably hear when I'm talking about BG5 or selling BG5 is about, being one of the first, or I have being the first and being the best. And I believe that BG5 is on the cutting edge, and it is the best assessment tool out there. And again, that love of being able to adapt in that way.
And if you ever heard me talk, I have the same. I also have the 51 and the 26 in undefined function. It is the best tool, right?
It is.
There's no other tool that can be so exact, precise, and unique, for every individual being. So yeah.
And we're still on the cutting edge. I mean, somebody asked me how many BG5 consultants there are in the world, and I think there's still less, more than 100, but still less than 200 right? If you think about this in the entire world, because we teach worldwide, it is, it really is still the opportunity to be one of the first, if you will, in your country or in your area, whatever that happens to be. So it's a little
Wonderful.
demonstration of part of the profit potential. And again, the profit potential is part of how you sell, what you naturally attract. And it comes so easy. When I first did the profit potential, I was like, oh, I was just giggling to myself because it's exactly how I do sell and how I talk about things.
Wonderful.
Yeah. And so here's Natalie. Natalie also has it unconsciously. She has it as her unconscious core essence. And Ra Urahu, this was his life work theme as well. He had the 51-5. And again, 2 years ago, we started this BG5 Live on his birthday. So just honoring Ra Urahu as well in initiating all of us and shocking all of us into learning this new system, seeing this new system, and the power that it has. So really an honor to him as well. Very cool. Let's take a look at our celebrity for today. I was looking through and I thought, oh, this is quite interesting. Ulkirk Christensen, he's the founder of Lego. And again, he has trait 51-3 as his life work theme. I don't have the exact birth time, but I felt like it was close enough. It still has the same life work theme regardless, but your life work theme is penetration. You catch us off guard and get our attention with your penetrating intuitive insights, ideas, which can shock, shift, or mutate our perceptions. So I love that, that shock, shift, or mutate our perceptions is, what this is part of, what this is all about. So he was the founder of the Lego Group Company and came up with the name Lego. He was a carpenter who started making wooden toys in 1932, and he invented the term Lego, which came from the Dutch word legot, meaning play well. So I thought that was beautiful. And again, taking a look at how that life work theme plays into that.
It's Danish.
What's that?
Almost Dutch. It is in Europe, but it's Danish.
Yes.
Yeah,
did I say Dutch?
Yeah, you have to.
Oh, sorry.
So that's I understand the confusion.
We are popular. I know everything's Dutch. I know. Understand.
Danish. Yeah, I'm sure I will upset some Danes if I don't say it correctly.
No, yeah, exactly. No, so we corrected it, but anyway, yeah, it's amazing, and I played with Lego, throughout my whole childhood. We went to Legoland in Denmark, which is amazing. Like, you have a whole village and whatever, everything is from Lego, right? All the play tools, everything. So, and it's yeah, just fascinating how he has this life work.
And I was looking up Legos the other day, and the complexity of what you can build with Legos nowadays.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. You can have machines.
An article a day ago, there's a run on black market selling of Legos right now. People they're in such demand, people that need money are, finding Legos and, making them, making a profit from them, on the underground markets. I thought that was fascinating. Talking about penetrating, because the Legos are like a household word, and everybody, like Natalie, everybody's played with them.
Yeah, around the world. It's pretty amazing. Yeah. Beautiful. Is there anyone in Facebook Live or in our Zoom room who has the 52 or experiences someone with the 52 or has anything that they want to add or share?
Somebody just entered in the Facebook 1 minute ago. Happy birthday, Els. And it's her birthday today. But she has it in the first quality. So yeah,
Mm.
a little bit. So, but I don't know how you experience it. So maybe you'd like to share about that, else, if we have time. And then we have another Sandra is in here. Her now 6-year-old daughter has this is on this life work theme as well.
Mm.
But no real sharings about. And then we have, let's see, 51.3 unconscious personal love. Yeah, so there, who is this? Oh, I cannot see that. Angela. Angela also has it here.
Yay.
Would you like to share, Angela? Would you like to have the mic? Because you have it in the third line quality, and you are like every week you're here from Galveston. I'm just going to give you the mic, and let's just chucking you away. Let's see if you want to share a bit. So you can unmute, Angela, if you want to. And if you don't, you don't. That's okay.
Oh, she said sure.
All right.
Did
So
you
yeah, go to your I don't know.
we'll promote her to a panelist. There we go.
There we go. Can you talk? Oh, you promoted her. Didn't.
Oh, did I mess it up?
No, she's now she's unmuted. Hi, Angela.
Hi, guys. How are you?
Hey, how are you?
I am fantabulous. I love this one. I have the 51.3 unconscious. And so what I find is I use my words and energy to sort of test the level with people. And sometimes when I do that, it's like taking someone's temperature. And the response I get sometimes even surprises me. It's like I will just say something and it'll just flow in, and I'm not real sure where it's coming from, but it's just enough to get the person's attention for them to respond and say, hey, I didn't really realize that, or oh, wow, you just spoke truth there. I really feel that people have the ability to hear and receive truth when it's authentic. And I had shared before on one of the other calls that the motto that I live by is highest and best for everyone. So even when I'm shocking, quote unquote, shocking someone, it's well received. I've never gotten a negative backlash, maybe initially, maybe a little shock, but once people kind of sit with it and realize that my heart is pure, then they're able to receive the shock from me.
I love that. How beautiful. Thank you for sharing that, Angela.
Yeah, thank you for the mic.
Love it. Beautiful. Fun to have you on BG5 Live.
Every week, you got me.
Yay.
Thank you.
Beautiful. Thank you so very much. And if there's more comments, continue. I'm just going to do this, and then we'll wrap everything up with what to take a look at this week as we continue through this initiative and shock this week. So again, if you want to follow along, if you want to find your own design, if you want to see if you have a particular trait, you can go to bg5businessinstitute.com. You can download your personalized chart, and you can take a look as we go through BG5 Live, what traits you have or don't have and how they affect you. So right now, everyone is experiencing this, this daring or this shock or this initiation. So just pay attention to where that shows up. Again, you can follow us also with BG5 Live, taking a look at what the trait of today is, as well as visiting YouTube or our free resource library to find past episodes of BG5 Live. And of course, we have our classes and courses that are coming up in May. And we have a few of them coming up in April as well. So check it out, and would love to see you in one of our courses. So let's wrap everything up. And what should people be aware of as we explore this trait of 51 over the next few days? What are things that people should be aware of or pay attention to? What should they listen for? And I would love to hear also any shares that you have about the 51 as well. So let's start with Anna, and then if you want to read any comments, Natalie, we'll do that next.
One thing you can possibly take away is a lot of times people think of shock as a bad thing or disruptive thing. But consider what comedy is. Comedy is usually shocking. A good joke makes you laugh. It's a surprise. It's like, oh, I never thought of, haha, whatever. It's a juxtaposition of something that changes how you think about something. So I would just, have you consider what makes you laugh, what makes you chuckle, what's the, there's a lot to worry about in the world right now and plenty of concerns, but maybe for right now, what kind of jokes are around? What kind of surprises are there? What kind of delights do you get from something silly or funny?
I love that. I love that. Thank you, Anna. How about for you, Natalie? And if there's anything else in Facebook or in our chat as well.
Yeah. So we do have Heidi, and Heidi is also willing to share if we want to.
Sure.
Yeah. So you don't have to promote her. She can.
Okay.
You can unmute yourself, Heidi, and then yes, please.
You can hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, cool. So it's an open center with the 51.5. And with the open sacral center, I do feel a lot of pressure to prove. And if it's in the conditioned or the shadow side. And but when I'm at work, I'm an osteopath, but I'm using a lot of the BG5 and the Jovian information to guide me. I'm in the zone where I just things show up, and I sometimes do when people are arguing for their pain or limitations, I will say, okay, you can do that if that's what you choose to have more of, or you could just see if you're willing to receive other inputs to actually shift this area that you've come to me to address. And so kind of sometimes a little bit confrontational, and people will be quiet and just be a little bit more reflective rather than just going on a tangent of explaining why it is the way it is and why it won't change. So yeah, it kind of rattling the cage a little.
I love that, Heidi. Yeah, thank you so much for sharing that.
Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Yeah. And would you like to continue, Natalie?
Yeah, sure. Was there something else, Heidi?
I just wanted to know, it's in the nodes on the personality side, so in the conscious side, actually it's line 4, not line 5. What does that mean with the nodes? Like,
come to our foundation course and you'll find out.
I've done the foundation course and I can't remember.
True. No, you don't get it. You get it later. No, it's what you're here to serve.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's in the profit potential.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's part of the who you see and also who you're here to serve as well.
Okay. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it.
So yeah, for me for this week, I'm hesitant to say anything, but if you feel shocked, just usually it is for the better. Usually it is for to see something and to be able to move forward, right? To step into something. So. But you may see shocking things happen in the world, or if you have the other side, really feel, because then it gets connected up. But just breathe through, and it's there to show you something, but you don't have to act instantly. And I think that's my contribution for this week.
Yeah, beautiful. Thank you so much, Natalie. And how about for you, Linda?
Yeah, I think I'm going to repeat this every week. Be aware, because it's, for me, the 51 was not as, in not having it, it was distracting me a little bit. in proving myself, wanting to prove myself, being competitive, lacking the willpower, but wanting to have the willpower. And I feel like be aware that you don't have to prove yourself. Don't just stay with yourself, especially when you have willpower undefined, because its willpower is coming at you. But also feel the invitation, just like I feel it with working with Natalie and you, Karen, to be initiated, to be invited to do something new. If something in the world is happening and you get triggered to do something with it, or you have things in your surroundings or at work or whatever, or within studying BG5, you get triggered, you get shocked by, oh, that's wonderful, then go for it if it feels good and if you follow your decision-making strategy. So I feel like there are lots of things coming to the 51, but I feel like also within the times that we live in, I feel like we need to be shocked into being ourselves and to being shocked into living our unique selves.
Yeah.
And to really tease out the spirit that's in us and our uniqueness. And that's why what I really feel within the 51 is that authenticity. When it comes from the right place, also like Angela said, then it's a wonderful thing because it will bring you to where you need to be.
Love it. Love it. Beautifully said, Linda. Thank you so very much. And thank you to each and every one of you for joining us this week. And again, just watch for where you get shocked or what's shocking in the world. And again, shock has two sides to it. So that shock is also an awakening to see something new, to initiate you, to open up and be more aware, just as Linda said. And as always, follow your decision-making strategy because your body knows before you do, so that you can think on your feet and adapt as you need to. So it has been an absolute pleasure. And Heidi and Angela, it was such a pleasure to have you join us today, and great to hear your voices. Thank you for your contribution. And thanks to each and every one of you who are watching us live and watching via the recording. And we look forward to seeing you all next week. Thanks, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.